Welcome to the Core U series here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow. I'm Dr. Bikram Dhillon, and I'm excited to share this video with you in which we're going to discuss the ways to get to weight loss in a way that's fast, simple, and effective. It really doesn't get easier than what we're going to be discussing with you, and I want to make sure that you understand it as clearly as you possibly can. Now, in your sessions with your coach, in our sessions together, we'll be discussing these pieces in much greater detail. The purpose of this core series is really to introduce you to these concepts so that you can start implementing them right away and not wait 1 minute. Today I want to talk to you about structured meals. Now, we already looked at how we do body composition measurement here at Physicians Total Wellness. We've talked about fat mass, we've talked about muscle mass, we've talked about basal metabolic rate, and these concepts are all concepts that are going to be key concepts for us to work with, but they don't have to be complicated. It's actually very simple. And structured meals, the topic of this video, are really one way to make it as simple as possible. What we're looking to do is not get into complex discussions of how many calories you're taking in at this point or how many points you're scoring yourself for. We don't want you counting calories and we don't want you counting points. What we want you to do is to be able to select meals that work for you. What we want to do is really want to take your diet and simplify it to two simple concepts. What are your meals of efficiency, the meals that you just need to get in order to get by with your day? And what are the meals that you really enjoy with your family and your friends, your social meals? What we found is if we look at translating the medical issues of number of calories and take into account the number of calories in a pound of fat, then we can reduce the whole equation to these simple choices. Let me give you an example. Let's say that in your body composition measurement, your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories you burn in one day, is 1,400. Now, if we can institute or put into place a way for you to have a meal 5 times a day in a way that allows your physiology to burn fat and not hold on to it in order for you to gain muscle and not lose it, that would be an excellent choice. It would be a no-brainer. It would be something that you could implement without a great deal of thought. The only question that I would have for you is what tastes good for you. Now, how would you like it if your weight loss simply revolved around what tastes good for me rather than how many points or how many calories am I consuming? Now, we can do that here at Physicians Total Wellness because we take all the considerations regarding the mathematics, the calculations, the calories, BMR, and put them way up front where your coach is working with you. When it gets to the point of your decision making, all you're looking at is what foods do I want to eat. So the tool I want to introduce to you today, and the tool that your coach or I will be discussing with you in much greater detail, is structured meals. Structured meals allow us to fix the number of calories that we're getting in a meal and then to add that up over the day to come to a deficit in calorie consumption that allows you to effectively lose fat. And we do this by providing a large percentage of those calories in terms of protein so that you're not getting hungry during the day and so that you're maintaining muscle mass and supporting muscle mass as you're losing weight. Because ultimately, losing muscle mass causes your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories that your body burns in a day without doing any additional exercise, to go down. And we don't want your basal metabolic rate to go down. The decrease in basal metabolic rate is one of the reasons that many, in fact most diets fail. Because strictly looking at calories causes a fall not just in fat, but a fall in the amount of muscle mass. And weight loss may look dramatic under many of these plans, but what happens is as your muscle mass and your fat mass both go down, at the end, your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories you burn, is much, much lower at the end than it was at the beginning. So when you get done with your diet, you gain that weight back much faster than you lost it to begin with. We do not want to be playing that game. We want to make sure that your weight loss is sustainable. So the way that we will be working with you in this regard, in this particular area, is structured meals. So the structured meal program that we use is one that we've selected because it allows us a great variety rather than simply drinking shakes all day or eating a particular food all day or drinking a green drink. We want to make sure that you have access to a variety of foods that will allow us to accomplish a simple, very simple goal. And that goal is, how do we consume about 100 calories with 10 grams of protein very frequently during the day? And we've found a tool after searching that works very well for our patients, and that tool is Take Shape for Life. So let me show you a few examples from Take Shape for Life. And as you can see from these slides, the protein is about 10 grams of protein. It varies between 10 grams and 15 grams per meal. And then the calories vary between 90 grams and 110 grams per meal. So putting together 5 of these meals during the day, and I know that 5 sounds like a lot, but when we're talking about meals, we're not talking about large, extravagant meals. We're talking about meals that are 10 grams of protein and 100 calories during the day. And you can see that you can get this in a bar, you could get this in a meal like a ziti marinara, you could get this in a shake, you can get this in pretzel sticks, you can get it in a number of other items. And all of them have this in common, that they all have about 90 calories to 110 calories and 10 grams of protein to 15 grams of protein. Consuming that regularly throughout the day is what helps you to maintain a regular physiology that burns fat and also prevents you from getting hungry. Now, we've had individuals who have had substantial weight to lose, and they've worked with this program and actually not been hungry as they've been going through it. Every individual has their own experience, and your coach will work with you on how you may need to adjust things within this program on structured meals. But let's take an overview of what the structured meal program might look like. Now, if you have meals of utility where you just need to get your meals in, you need to get your food in so that you can go about your day, and then you have meals, social meals or meals of enjoyment where you really want to sit down and share a meal with your family or friends, this is what the structure might look like. Let's say that you had 5 meals throughout the day that were Take Shape for Life, these structured meals. That would be breakfast, a morning snack, lunch, an afternoon snack, dinner, which would be your lean and green, we'll talk about that in a second, and then an evening snack, which again would be Take Shape for Life. Now that's 5 meals, snacks, call them what you will, 5 meals during the day that are Take Shape for Life. This comes to a total of between 500 and 530 calories per day. And if your basal metabolic rate is 1400, now you're running a pretty good deficit. If we add in your lean and green meal, now a lean and green meal is something that is a meal that you make yourself. It's a meal that consists of protein about the size of a deck of playing cards or about the size of your palm, and vegetables. Again, we want to shoot for a very low-calorie meal here, but you can make one that uses spices, that uses cooking techniques that help make it more flavorful, that gets you to about 300 calories a day. So if we 300 to 400 calories, so let's say that you have a meal a day that consists of 5 Take Shape for Life meals at 550 calories and a lean and green meal at 250 to 350 calories, and you have a basal metabolic rate of about 1400 calories, then you can expect a deficit, a calorie deficit of 500 to 600 calories a day. Added up over the week, if you were to strictly use this program and not use any of the other tools that we would be providing you, you might anticipate losing about 1 pound a week. Now, we have many other tools that we will be discussing with you, and integrated weight loss does not rely on one tool alone. So we'll be looking at the other pieces, the foundational pieces of integrated weight loss here at Physicians Total Wellness and Ptwow. And those include weight loss supplementation, include gut and inflammation and how we might address those. And these will be the foundational pieces. Then we will be looking more widely. We'll be looking at diet and exercise, and you've heard a lot about diet and exercise, but we'll be talking about specifics in those areas. We will be looking much more broadly then at areas of toxicity management, at areas of supplementation, specific supplementation. We're looking at a whole host of areas. So we have a lot to work on, but we want to make sure that we are sharing with you the structured meal concept today, and starting with that piece, branching out to additional pieces that will be helpful. So to review, with structured meals from Take Shape for Life, what we are able to accomplish is to limit the caloric consumption to about 500 to 550 calories for the majority of your day, leaving you about 250 to 350 calories for your lean and green meal. And this creates a calorie deficit that allows you to lose weight without focusing all day on calories or on points. What you're focusing on is, which meal do I enjoy? Which meal do I like? Now, you inevitably will have meals within Take Shape for Life that you do not like, and we encourage you not to order them because we think that there are enough products and enough meals within Take Shape for Life that you will like. If there's a bar that you don't like, there are 10 other bars. If there's a salty, if you prefer salty food, then there are salty options. If you prefer shakes, then there are shakes. If you prefer drinks that are not shakes, there are drinks. If you prefer their desserts, there are desserts that you can have within Take Shape for Life. And the beauty of the desserts even is that they're still about 10 grams of protein and 100 calories. So I encourage you to take a look at Take Shape for Life. Try the options that you feel work best for you, and then go ahead and implement those pieces. And the other pieces, we will never have to investigate them again. But we want to make sure that we work with you on arranging for a structured meal option that allows you to fix this piece of the puzzle so that you can take those variables out of the question. That's the value of structured meals here at Physicians Total Wellness, and we will be discussing with you the other pieces in the following series of videos.